Hello everybody, welcome back to Minecraft on the Block. This is the FTB Krafters FTB, I guess, Minecraft pack server. And there we go. I almost had the hum again because I was talking to Circaz last night. I have to hit some button on my mixing board here, and I don't know, gets all wonky it's weird. Anyway, so I have a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I'm going to try to make it somewhat quick. I'm going to not do an hour video today, but I do want to show you guys some stuff. So I'm going to kind of show you what I've done, and the reason I had to go ahead and I know a lot of times you guys want me to be doing this stuff just on camera, but last time I just set out to start getting the MFFS stuff going, and it took an hour almost basically just to get the stuff that I wanted to get and catch you guys up a little bit. And that was just doing it real time. This way I can at least learn some of the stuff that I need to know, and then I can walk you guys through it. So let me just tell you what's been going on. What do I have for sound? Oh, it's low. Let's see. That's better. Okay. Excuse me. So I will warn you right now, I'm a little tired. I got some coffee in front of me. I'm ready to kick back and do some recording, but we spent the whole day down in the city and at the Lego store. I wanted to take the kids to the Lego store, and they hadn't been there before, and it's about an hour for us to get to the closest one. I mean, it's not like a big deal. It's not like going to Legoland or anything, but it's kind of cool, and we love Legos, so we went down there and got some Lego kits and messed around. So anyway, wanted to wear the kids out and ended up wearing everybody out, so that's where we're at. Anyway, so my problem is, it's funny. So a couple of things happened. This was really good. So I started playing with these gates, and that's really what we're going to talk about today, are the Buildcraft gates. And I'm going to go from everything from the just straight up gate through the diamond gates, and then the autarkic, I don't know, however you pronounce those, autarkic, whatever they are, those gates. And we'll talk about them, and I'll tell you what I've learned and help you guys hopefully do some cool stuff with it. But I have some big plans. One of the things I needed to do was get my biogas situation sorted, and it kind of helped, but it kind of didn't help. And I will explain to you what I mean by that. Let me go sleep real quick. That's probably the most important thing for me to do right now. I'll be right back. All right. So what I wanted to do was get kind of the automated system going where I could feed most of the parts of this system back into itself. If you think about what we've got going on here, we have the arboretum kind of at the core of this, right, which is growing trees. And then we've got the logger, which is cutting them down and gathering saplings and all that. And the arboretum is in need of saplings, and it's in need of humus, right? So it uses humus and saplings to do its job, and ultimately it produces wood and sand, right? I mean, that's when it comes right down to it. So the sand, interestingly enough, just doesn't seem to be getting pumped out lately. I've kind of noticed that. This used to always be empty, and now it's never empty. It used to just come into this chest. It's almost like something happened, but I don't really know why that is. We'll have to look into that. But anyway, so one of the things that we need from this is saplings to go back in here, but ultimately what we're using saplings for is this, which is the fermenter, right? We want fermenter to create biogas, which is what this whole system is about. This is not about wood, although we have a lot of it, and I'll show you what's going on with that. But it's ultimately about power. This is about producing Minecraft joules and turning it into EU and other stuff. So anyway, you can see the trees growing. You've seen this before. Now, you could just start trying to pump stuff into these different machines, but then you would get the overload with the pipes, and you would have to use red power pipes or something so that they would just kind of bounce around in the system until they were needed and whatever. But with these gates, you get some really cool functionality, and that's the direction I went. And one of the things I wanted to do was play with auto crafting, because one of the things we need for the arboretum is humus, right? And humus is made. It's not just something that's generated and we pump it back into the system. And the recipe that I use is dirt and fertilizer. You can also use dirt and mulch, I believe, in a carpenter or whatever. But this is the recipe I use because it's simple. and I wanted a way to try to get the auto crafting system working. It used to be that when I did auto crafting in like the old Technic Pack and Tech Kit stuff, I would use logistics pipes. Logistics pipes are really almost cheating. I mean, in a lot of ways. I was thinking about that the other day. I was actually talking to my wife about it. She was gracious enough to pretend like she cared. And I was telling her how logistics pipes kind of ruin it for me because they just make everything so easy. Like I love the logistics part of the system, but logistics pipes just do everything. You just hook up a network, you get the right types of pipes in place, and then everything has access to everything all the time whenever you need it if it's there. And this is going to require a little bit more thought and preparation, but it still allows us to do some really cool stuff with auto crafting and logistics. So I'm going to talk about that right now. So you can see that we have saplings flowing into the fermenter right now. And the reason we have that, and you can see they're going really slow, and they get used up pretty much as quick as they can get put in right now. That's because I've had the system shut off. It hasn't been running while I'm not here because I need it to... Well, I'll talk about why. I'm trying to solve the problem of when I'm not here, it seems like the system runs through all of the resources and the fermenter stops working, then there stops being Buildcraft power, and the system shuts down and nothing is getting power. And then I have to use this engine right here, which is just one of the steam engines. I have to just put a couple of pieces of coal in there to get the system kind of almost like kick-started. It's almost like the starter motor, to get a little bit of stuff fermenting, and then it starts, the cycle continues. But what's happening is it's running while I'm not here, and then when it runs out of saplings, which it seems to do, well, I mean, before it was doing it because I wasn't taking saplings out of these chests and putting them into things, so I had a hopper on top of here. But even if I filled the hopper up, I mean, I couldn't be gone overnight without it running out, and it would fill up. I have 2 MFSUs downstairs now. I've got about 22 million EU constantly full because these things are producing. So when I'm gone, it's wasting energy. Anyway, so I was trying to think, well, at least I would like to keep it going, even if it's wasting energy. And that way I can make some more MFSUs or whatever, and I can start to keep power, and at least this thing will keep itself going, hopefully. Well, that was also not the case. It still has some issues, and we will work through some of that today, maybe. But really, I just want to show you what's going on. So anyway, that's the idea. That's why I did it. And what you see in front of you is a bunch of different types of these Buildcraft gates, pipe gates, and also pipe wire. So those things there, the green that you see here, that's pipe wire. There's some blue and red pipe wire here, and I think that's about it. And this one is just a regular Tarkic or Tarshik or whatever. I need to learn how to pronounce that. But anyway, that word. So what I wanted was to be able to say, when this thing needs saplings, pull them. Otherwise, don't, because I don't want it to overflow, and I don't want to have to deal with that, right? So I made some gates. Now, I want to be clear about a couple of things. That is a gold gate. This one's a diamond. I don't have very many just regular straight up. That one's regular straight up gate. I don't have any iron gates in the system right now. My understanding now is that you basically, depending on what you want to do, you can get away with different levels. And I just kind of, because I had the diamonds, it wasn't so much, the pulsating chipsets are the things that are difficult for me because I don't have a lot of ender pearls. So if you want pulsating chipsets, you have to have ender pearls and redstone, and you get 2 of them. And those are necessary for the Tarshik, whatever. The redstone, I'm going to call them the redstone engine gates because they basically have a redstone engine built into them. That's why you can see they're pulling items out of a chest, right? So those gates require the pulsating chipsets to make, and really the biggest thing is time more than anything. It takes a little more time to produce the diamond ones, but not too much. So we'll get into the recipes for that in a minute, but here is the interface for a diamond ore gate, right? Now this is just a straight diamond ore gate. It's not the redstone engine version. But it will do a couple of things that a iron gate won't do, which is allow you to do actual pipe wire signals. You can send just a regular old redstone signal with the iron ones, but as far as I know, I have not been able to figure out how to get, I don't think you can send pipe wire signals. You can with the gold, so gold is just has 4 of these, and the diamond has 8 of them. So it's really overkill because I don't need 8 slots. I don't even need the 2. I mean, if I could do iron, which would have 2, I would just use those. But anyway, like I said, the pulsating chipsets, you might as well, just in case you want to use them for something later, you might as well have the best one you can get, since the diamond isn't really the most difficult thing to get for me, at least right now. So anyway, I have two rules here. I have one that says if the fuel is less than 25%, which is, basically 25. Well, no, it's 60. So it's 64. So if it's less than, what, 12 or no, 16, sorry, 12. If it's less than 16, it will start pulling fertilizer. The rule we have for this is if it's less than 25 as well. So if either one of these gets below 16, it starts pulling for the resources, and it'll start asking on the green pipe signal. What we have told it is that give a green pipe signal when you need stuff. Oh, this one also has yellow wire on it. Sorry, you can see that running right there. So it's pretty much always on with a green pipe wire signal because I never have very many saplings in here. It's using them as fast as it can get them. And right now the system isn't fully ramped up to be pushing out saplings, right? So anyway, it gives the blue pipe wire signal, the green pipe wire signal, which comes all the way down here, and it goes to this gate, which is a redstone engine version of the gate. And I'm telling it when it gets a green pipe wire signal, which you have to have at least a gold gate or higher to even be able to check for a green pipe wire signal. Then do the energy pulsar, which is the version of this rule. You can do if it has a green signal, give a green signal, or give an energy pulsar, or give a redstone signal, or whatever, right? And you can say if it's full of energy and whatnot. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But right now, what we're dealing with is the green pipe signal energy pulsar. That means whenever you're getting a signal, pull stuff out of this chest. So this is the chest with saplings when it has saplings, and so you can see it's got a signal right now, but there's no saplings, so there's nothing to pull. Okay. So when it needs fertilizer, it's going to send a yellow signal, and that happens a lot less frequently because fertilizer lasts forever, and that's going to come here. This one is checking for a yellow signal, and it does an energy pulsar, and it's going to send out fertilizer, right? So that means that this thing is now smart enough because of this gate to ask for things when it needs it based on the rules that we've set up. You can also set these down to 10%, and I've set them to 25%, and I'll show you why. Because over here we have the hog, which has a ton of, it uses a lot of saplings and, hummus and whatnot. But what I wanted to tell this one, so this is a gold one. You can see it's only got 4 here. So these are just as good. But when it needs soil, when the soil is less than 25%, go ahead and send a red pipe signal and ask for it. Okay. When it does that, this one is checking for a red pipe signal and it does the energy pulsar. Now it is connected to an auto crafting table, as we looked at earlier, which shows you the auto crafting or the recipe for making hummus. So whenever it sends a pulse, it's going to pull 8 hummus out of this thing. And as long as the chest that it's connected to has the materials necessary, then it will be able to give one of the recipes of hummus, right? And so we can give quite a bit of hummus because of what we have in here, but I'm going to just fill this thing up with fertilizer and dirt, and it will suffice for quite a while. In fact, what I really need to be doing is setting this up even a little more sophisticated so that the fertilizer comes out of the same chest, right? This here, what I could do really easily, it wouldn't be that easy because right now I need to get the yellow pipe signal. Well, I could actually. I think I could put this gate right here, put all the fertilizer in here, and have it looking for a yellow pipe signal and send it out that way. I think that would work. Well, it wouldn't because I'd have to move this chest to do that because I'd have to get so I could basically move the whole system over one and flip this over, right? Move all of this stuff over this direction one, put that wooden pipe over here, and then allow it to pull out. So anyway, I basically have a little bit of duplicate. That would save me some room. So I will do that. Anyway, so that would allow me to have all of the fertilizer in one chest. Let me go sleep again. All right. I'm going to have to get the security system set up so that it just kills mobs and I don't have to worry about it. That would be really nice. If I get a radius so that I could just work out here and never have to worry about it because the security system was going to be taking care of me. Anyway, so that's our current setup with that, right? So we've got this whole situation. Now this is an interesting one. This is just a straight up gate with the redstone engine thing applied to it. So this one is a pulsating chipset with a regular gate. And I think, let's go look. The autarkic gate. It's just a regular gate, which is simple. You just make a redstone chipset and then you put it back in the assembly table to make a gate. And I'll show you how to do that stuff here in a minute. And then you put it with a pulsating chipset and a redstone iron chipset, which is just redstone and iron on the assembly table. And that will produce this gate. So it doesn't actually, it's very stupid. It just has one rule. but it's perfect because it makes for a really compact system. You don't have to have redstone engines. Now they don't pull that quickly. They don't pulse as fast as like that one does. You can see how slow it's going actually. But let's see, is this system doing its thing at all? Yeah, so we're starting to build up a little bit over here, right? We got a little bit of build up. We have 2 saplings instead of none now. So, but the system is not really doing anything. Trees aren't growing, whatever. Oh, it's taking the saplings for over here now because this one got a little low, so it needed more. Oh, that's what I was going to show you too before we move on. I made this one say if it's less than 10%. So don't ask unless you're less than 10%. It doesn't really matter actually because it's kind of going to just be a stable number. But anyway, this one is 25% on the soil. So when it's 25%, it asks for the red, which gets it out of the auto crafting table. And when it's 10% here, it asks for blue, which gets it out of the same place over here, the saplings. And then this one again is just a regular, basically right now it's acting as a redstone engine. It says if there's things in here, if there's items in the inventory you're attached to, start pulsing, start pulling stuff out. And so it's putting all the wood downstairs, which we'll go look at, and it's putting the sand downstairs actually as well, because you can see here we're routing the saplings down the blue line, which is this one, and we're routing sand and wood down the green line, which is that one. And we're starting to get some stuff going. So who's going to get this one? Yep. So it went that way, right? So we got a couple going. We're still starting to see this one work its way up. So that's the situation. So that's all the different gates that I'm using right now. Again, I have the gold, the diamond, and the regular. We'll look at some of the other ones too. Look at the iron as well. But yeah, so that is really kind of nice. So you can imagine now the possibilities with something like this, with like the auto crafting table. What you could do is you could have you can start to get auto crafting from like linking up the auto crafting tables to do various things, and automatically pull, like keep a certain amount. You can do things like on the inventory here. Let's look at this chest. You can do things like if there's space in the inventory, pulse. If the inventory is full, pulse. Whatever. If the pipe is empty, if there's items traversing, you can just check so much stuff. If there's nothing in the inventory. So anyway, it's really it'll help us out with I think making some auto crafting stuff and getting down to business later. So anyway, that is that. Now, again, the problem that I have is that it's just not. It's self-sufficient while it's running, as long as I keep dirt and fertilizer in there, and especially if I move this over where it's sharing it, if I can keep dirt and fertilizer there, and fertilizer takes sand, so it would be really cool if I could just utilize the sand that I have and send that back into the system to make fertilizer, right? Auto crafting for the fertilizer as well. It'll be a pretty much self-sufficient system, but it's not going to continue to run forever when I'm not here for some reason. And I think it as far as I can tell, and you guys maybe you can help me, as far as I can tell, it seems like it's because this thing runs even when I'm not on, producing biogas. Or maybe and maybe that's irrelevant, but at least, and maybe that's not even true, but at least the biogas engines seem to be running when I'm not on, producing EU, and when the rest of the system's not running to feed it biogas, then it just shuts down, right? And that same biogas engines are feeding this system. So then you have to do something to kickstart it, which is why I have this one engine, which will kind of kickstart the whole system. So that's weird, but I'm not exactly sure what to do about it. I'll tell you what I've done about it short term. So down here is where all of this stuff's being stored. I just made a buttload of barrels, and I've just been storing wood and sand, and I just let it kind of automatically fill itself up. You can see it's just totally random, right? I'll probably make it a little bit more useful, but it's still a lot of wood. I've got a ton of wood, and this will hold plenty. So when I get to the point where this is full of wood and sand, then I'll just start letting the wood and sand like go into void pipes or something. I did put this obsidian pipe here because for some reason I came down here one time and I found a little pile of wood and sand right here when I was offline. Again, all of this very confusing to me, but it was dumping it out, so now at least it'll pull it back in the system. I haven't found any since. And then the same thing is true down here. I found a kind of a little pile of stuff down here, so I just put them on there to pull them back into the system. It's not really, it was a very, very temporary stopgap measure, but it seems to be working. So yeah, then I've got the 2 MFSUs over here and they're full, and I need to get another one at least, probably a couple more. What is the step up from the MFSU is called like the adjustable. Yeah, I think it's this one, adjustable energy storage unit, the AESU. But this thing is expensive, man. It takes Lapatronic orbs, which take iridium plate, which take iridium, whatever. Expensive, right? It takes 8 of those and then a GregTech computer, is that right? GregTech computer cube, which takes a couple more of them, some energy flow circuits. You have to have a lot of iridium. And that thing will hold, I believe, 100 million EU, and it's got adjustable input and output, so you can actually go straight. You don't even have to have these things. You can adjust what the input and output is, so you can go from 32 all the way up to 2048, I think. So that is really cool. What else? Oh, right. So the temporary solution is this right here, right? This switch, I'm gonna actually wire this up so that I've got a switch upstairs, and I'm just gonna turn the engines off because I can't let it. It's wasting too much energy. Even though really all I'm wasting is a little bit of dirt and appetite at the end of the day, I just hate it. So unless I want to leave it running for the purposes of filling some more MFSUs, which I might make some right now. Like I said, I think I probably should make at least 2 more because I can fill these things so quickly, and then I can have a lot of EU. And then what I could also do is I could use my MFFS system. I can output Buildcraft power from, there's a converter that'll allow me to output Buildcraft power from this system, and I could use that converter to output some of this this extractor energy into the Buildcraft system, so I could basically loop it into these wires, and since I'm using the redstone energy conduit, I don't think it would create a loop and blow things up. I think I could just send power back in to the system, and that would allow me to kind of kickstart the system. So that's another option for how to kickstart it when I'm gone. So I could, that's actually not too bad of an idea. Have some sort of a thing that, like, basically I'd have to think of some sort of a check, but when there's no power coming out of these, I could probably like have another set of wires maybe down below or something that is checking for energy coming out of those, and then get something set up, one of those auto-archic gates. When it says no energy is coming into the pipe, I could have it send a redstone signal, and then that redstone signal could turn on the converter, and then the converter could send some Buildcraft power into these wires, and then that would start the whole system back up. Again, the problem is that it seems like nothing really wants to run when I'm offline anyway, except for these. So that would just be it probably wouldn't even work. The converter probably wouldn't even run when I wasn't online. So, but when I came in, it would at least start up, right? It would check to see if there was power coming out of these engines. If it wasn't, it would start supplementing the power over there. And as soon as an engine kicked on, then that would shut off and the engines would be running it again. So I might try that. It seems a little hacky to me. I think, when we get to, you can see all the wood coming. When we get to where we're building our tower system, our power system for our tower, which we're going to have over here, we're going to have the power system for all of the different types of power that we want to have within the tower complex, probably underground, except for this wind engine, which will be up at the top of the tower complex, because the higher the better for this stuff. So we'll run that stuff down, but most of the Buildcraft stuff will run up. And when we do that, we'll probably want to have a little bit more reliable system. So I'll have to have a better way for all this to work. We might even be doing, solar / I don't know what we'll do for Buildcraft power there. We might do EU conversion with electric engines. Probably be a good way to do it. So anyway, we'll figure that out when we get there. But for now, this one, I don't mind hacking together some solutions because it's fun. That's kind of what it's about. So I could have a solution for this, and I'm going to build 6 more of those engines and see how much power I can get going. Because ultimately, right now, I've got, it seems like this, oh, you know what? I think I turned down the sound in the, Windows settings for that. Anyway, it seems like this is actually working pretty well right now. Our setup, I think everything in here is generally going pretty good, and I can keep up with most things. Although when I really get rolling, I can put a little bit of a hit on the system. So I think what I'm going to do is get 6 more of those engines going, and I can have them running just in case. I'll turn some of them off, and then that would also kind of give me a secondary like fail-safe when I come in here and the system's been shut down for a while. At least these would still have some gas in them if I had a second row of them, and I could shut them off separately. And I think I can actually create a different color wire, or at least jacketed wire, so these won't connect, and I can just put another set of wire right there and another set of engines right here, and I'll be good to go. Which means more of these things, which is fine because I love them. So let me show you a little bit about the gates. This chest here, you want to put a chest next to this thing unless you just want to stand around and wait for gates to come out or things to come out of it, because it takes a while. So let me kind of walk you through the basics. So you create different color pipe wire, which is used for more than just the pipes, as it turns out. It's actually used for some of the recipes, like the gold and diamond recipes. So you can see that we've got these 4 different types of pipe wire, and then we have some gates that I've already created. But I'm just going to start and go through the process of creating a couple of these gates, and I'll just get some gold stuff going. But first, let's just do the first kind of basic thing that you need, or that you can get, is just a straight up redstone chipset. You can also get your pipe wire by doing, now you want to turn this thing off unless you want it to, it's really interesting. Like, it'll remember what you did last and it'll automatically start doing it, and you can like queue things up, so you can put all the materials you need for a few different things and queue them up, so they'll just work on one and then another, because this can take a little while. Anyway, so if we wanted some yellow pipe wire, I put it in there and it was so quick, it just happened, right? It had already actually built it all up. That just made us more yellow pipe wire. It made it 8 of them. So if you want red, you put redstone, iron, and a piece of red dye in here, and then you would get red pipe wire. And that happens almost immediately. It's really quick. But what isn't as quick are these redstone iron chipsets and the redstone chipsets. If you want a redstone chipset, you just put a piece of redstone in and you say, give it to me. And then it just starts making it. And you can see it goes through red, yellow, green, and then blue is the fastest. So when your lasers are running at blue, they're running at full speed. And you can actually see that we're not anywhere near full speed. It's around 20 right now when I'm running all 5 of these. So it seems that they're about 4 MJ a piece. And you can see that our system's just not keeping up. And I think it's because we don't have all the engines on right now. Yeah, we're still too short. So we're only running 20 total MJ, and there's other stuff utilizing some of it. So we just don't have enough biogas in the system yet, and it's just taking a while to fill it up. It fills these first few up, and then these take a while. So it's gonna go a little slower than it normally would. So we're running at about whatever it was, 12 or whatever. But it finished anyway. It didn't take that much time. I didn't even look to see how much it was. I think it's like 10,000 to get a redstone chipset. But now what we can do is we can say, I want an iron chipset, not just a redstone chipset, right? A redstone chipset, I guess I should show you this. A redstone chipset we could turn into just a regular straight up gate, right? Put that in there. And again, if I uncheck that, it will still have the store to you, but it won't be doing anything. And if I check it again, it'll use that store to you, but it's going to basically get up to 20,000 MJ, which is what it needs. That's what's required to create that thing. So once it gets all the way up to 20,000, it will produce this gate. And I'm actually not going to do the gate right now because we have some of those, which I don't even need. So there's just a regular gate right there. Now you can put that on a pipe, and it's really simple. You put that on a pipe, and it's basically, you just right click and you put it there, and you can do a couple of things. You could say, when energy is full, when space and inventory, when the pipe is empty, when there's items traversing the pipe, if you get a redstone signal on, if a red signal is off, whatever, right? You can, all those things, then do these things. And what I really like about these gates is that what you can do over here is specific to what it's attached to. So if it's attached to a chest, your options are somewhat limited. If it's attached to something else, like, let's see, what is that? Cobblestone or stone? Let's take a guess. Stone. There we go. If it's attached to something else, like like one of these things, I think. Let's just see. Then we'll be able to say, pipes empty, items progressing, redstone inventory, space inventory, energy. If it can store energy, if it's full of energy, if it's got a little energy stored, if there's no energy in it, whatever. So it knows what it's attached to and what the capabilities of what it's attached to are. I guess I'm all right. I need to make sure I keep this place lit. Anyway, so that's just a regular straight up gate. Now, if we want to make the iron gate, so I have an iron ore gate here. I'm not going to make it, but I'll just show you. If you want to make an iron ore gate, you just put a piece of iron and a piece of redstone. And it would cost you 20,000, you can see, to make one of those. And we already have, well, that's for the chipset. I guess I should show you that so that you get the chipset, which is an iron chipset, and then you would just plop it directly back in, except, let's go ahead and actually do that. Well, yeah, it's not going to hurt us. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll let it go do its thing. I think you plop it back in. An iron one's pretty simple. I think you just put it straight back in. Nope, you put it in with a red pipe wire. So you put a red iron chipset, a redstone iron chipset in with a red pipe wire. So once we get this one completed, and again, I'm not going to do it right now. Once you get that one completed, you would put it in with a piece of pipe wire, and then that would give you the iron ore gate. And you can actually get an AND gate or an OR gate. So the AND gate is if this and this is true, then go ahead and do something. And the OR gate is if this or this is true, right? So that should be obvious to everyone. So you can actually convert back and forth between them. You can take an iron AND gate and put it in a crafting table with a redstone chipset and switch it over to an iron OR gate. So it's relatively cheap. That's one piece of redstone and 10,000 MJ, right? And so you can just have a couple of those laying around. So if I was to take one of those and an iron OR gate and put it in just a regular crafting table, I could get myself an AND gate, right? Which I don't want right now because I have no use for an AND gate at this time. And that's about that. So then to do a diamond, let's just look at so a diamond OR gate requires you to have a redstone diamond chipset, which is a redstone and diamond. I believe it takes 80,000 MJ to complete that. So you get one of these redstone diamond chipsets, and then you put that in with the four different types of wire, and you'll get the diamond OR gate. And then to go to an autarkic or whatever gate from any of these, you have to put whatever gate you want. So let's see. Whatever gate you want plus an iron chipset and a pulsating chipset. And the pulsating chipset, of course, is, like I said, the redstone and the ender pearl, and you get two of them. And we're all out of those because I've used them for that system out there. I did, however, get a few more ender pearls. I've been hunting quite a few endermen. I have not got an enderman head, which leads me to believe it's not possible. I also killed Circaz like 20 times the other night. We were attempting to get his head, and I couldn't get it, which leads me to believe that I'm doing something wrong. So, but I do have, I have heads, right? I've got that thing, and Circaz has been wearing around a creeper head. So I've got some animal heads or some mob heads, but I don't have an enderman head, and I don't have a Circaz head. So I'm working on it. But I got 3 ender pearls, which is not a lot, but it's a lot for me. I sat out there using my little enderman killing platform. So I'll basically fly up to that tree, find an enderman, look at it, bring it over, kill it, and, hopefully get a pearl. But, I probably killed 4 or 5 one night and didn't get any pearls. And then I got a couple of pearls in a row on subsequent nights. When I could find endermans. So some nights you find a lot of them, some nights you don't, and a lot of times it's raining, and so you don't find any. So anyway, so that's that. That's how you get the gates, and they're just really. I just want people to not feel like this is a. I think at first I kind of was like, ooh, this thing is really complicated. Look at all these lasers and the assembly table and blah blah blah, and it's just not. It's not complicated, and you shouldn't feel. You shouldn't feel like this is difficult to do. These things are really powerful, and if you're not sure what the gates do, a single gate just says there's going to be one thing that you can tell it, one rule. You say if this thing is true, then do this thing, and a lot of times that's just like if there's inventory space, then send a redstone signal, something very simple like that, right? And then as you get up into the higher gates, like some of the OR gates, it just means that there's more than one parameter that can be met, and if both of them are met, or if one of them or the other one is met, then it's going to do stuff. And the and gates just mean that if things this and this is true, and you just think about what you're trying to do in your system, and you'll be able to figure out which kind of gate you need. And then just the more rules you need to link together, the higher you need to go. If you just need a couple of rules, you can use an iron gate, but you can't do the pipe wires with the iron gates. So if you want to do some fancy stuff, you'll have to go up to at least a gold gate, which gives you 4 parameters that you can check for. And then diamond gives you 8, right? So that's kind of just the lowdown on that. Yeah. So let me think about this. I was actually going to put together a little bit more, some more biogas engines and do a little work. Probably the next thing I'm going to do, let me give you the spiel. The next thing I'm going to do is start prepping for our actual building tasks. I want to get to where we're ready to process whatever comes through. So getting the logistics system inside the building in place, and maybe that's what I'll do this episode, start working on that and then come back and show you guys a little bit, finalize it, or before I finalize it, and we can wrap up this episode. But I'm going to bring it in over here. So whether or not I end up bringing the train in or not, I'm going to eventually, but not right now. But I am going to at least have the chest sitting here. That can be the temporary input, and that will be the starting point for the whole system. And what I really want is to get stuff into a kind of a central single holding area, not even a holding area, but just like the first point of processing. What I'll probably do is pull out of that with the sorting machine and sort into a few different categories. Basically, I want to pull dirt down a certain path and send it to a couple of different places. One will be over there, and one will be, storage somewhere probably underneath the building, or I'm going to put some big storage shelving together on that side of the building. Cobblestone, some of that stuff, right? I need to kind of split it up and determine where I want it to go. A lot of the ores are going to go straight into the processing. Diamonds will go into the diamond chest. Diamond ores will go into some like holding area where I'll use fortune on them. Same with redstone and stuff like that. Redstone I'll probably just straight up macerate. Although I'm really addicted to the whole enchanting now, and so it's made it so that I silk touch everything and then use my fortune picks on them and get the levels and get the extra stuff. So it's kind of become a manual process in some ways, but I want to at least have the option to dump everything in a chest and let it process. And then I want it to all go out and obviously be sorted over there for me so that I can get stuff really quickly within this system, so that when I need to make something, I've got everything I need. And then start putting together, auto crafting for what I would like is, like I said, to be able to say, okay, I'm asking for I got to get rid of that wood. That's just ugly. Do I have anything on me? Yes. Good. That's horrible. If I'm asking for I want an advanced circuit, it would be nice for it to be able to go all the way from, take the rubber and the copper, make me some wire, take that and some redstone and some refined iron and make the circuit, the electric circuit, and then take that and put the redstone, glowstone and lapis around it and give me an advanced circuit, right? Just ask for one. Just pull one out of a chest or pull one out of the auto crafting system. And when I did that, if it would ask for the things that it needed, that would be cool. Or again, I might use something a little more like the routers. I think is it not the routers? It's not the routers. It's the crap. I'm not going to be able to remember again. What is it called? It's the red power freaking thing. Let me find it. It's that thing, the manager. The manager is really cool because you can set it up to where you can ask for just like keep 2 of these things available at all times, right? So don't fill up an entire chest with stacks of circuits. Just keep 3 or 4 of them available at all times. So if I ask for 2, then go get a couple more ready, and I think I can hook those up with the auto crafting tables and get kind of a cool system going. So like I said, what I'd really like to do is have, a system set up over here to where there's some kind of component stuff building below, and then like right here, the auto crafting tables that are doing the things that I'm interested in would be up here. And I could say, okay, this one is give me a circuit, and this one is the advanced circuit, and this one is a piston, and this one is a whatever, right? And just have all of those so that I could just go in, ask for one, grab it, and go, and not have to worry about anything. So we will see. We'll see if that's possible and how far I want to get with it. But anyway, the point being that what I really want to do is get the rest of this, right? This is kind of a really rudimentary automatic processing system. I need to get a little bit more logic on the input going and a little bit more logic on the output, and get some of the additional machines into the mix, like like this thing, get the industrial electrolyzer going and get all that stuff working so that I can start working towards that. And that also brings me to actually one of the other things, which was machine casings and industrial blast furnace, which I need to get going. I'm going to use the standard machine casings. I'm going to make this first. You can see that these will actually take the gates instead of the electric circuits, which makes it a lot easier. So I can use an iron ore gate, a redstone golden chipset, an auto circuit. I mean, you have a lot of options here for those. So I might just dump that like a bunch of crap in here, just a bunch of redstone and gold maybe, or something. Choose one of these things, the autarchic gate. It won't be the autarchic gate, or autarchic or whatever. It'll probably be the iron ore gates. And just have it make a buttload of those. I might make aluminum machine blocks. Let's see. Aluminum machine hull is just aluminum ingots and machine parts, which is, those are, I don't know. It's hard to say. Sturdy casing. See, that's easy. Sturdy casing is just bronze. That might be the way to go for that. I mean, you have all these options. You got to really think about what you've got, and then refined iron. So I can make a lot of these. And I've learned that, I think I said this already, the rumor about if you put two lava source blocks in the middle of that thing instead of leaving them open, you get an extra 500 heat capacity, which will allow you to do the titanium, which is what we want, because we want to be able to make the diamond drill and other things. We want to be able to make the diamond drill, which I think requires titanium. We also want to be able to make advanced solar panels, which I believe, actually let's just look at solar panels, which require silicon plates, which require an industrial blast furnace. Silicon plate is silicon cells in an industrial blast furnace. So even just to get to solar, we got to do that. So anyway, that's going to be one of the next things I do. So let me go take a look at see how much time we have. Hold on just a sec. Well, crap. I've already gone well over the time. It is 42 minutes or something already, so I'm going to go ahead and call it then. I'll start the next one up with us working on the industrial blast furnace. In fact, I'll get prepped for that and get it going. I know that I'm going to have to route some electricity over. Probably, I don't know how much it'll take as input. I might just be able to go straight from here over, or I might have to come out of the medium voltage transformer, but either way, I'll get that set up. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I apologize for another long video and a lot of rambling, but hopefully this is helpful. You guys need to get into those gates. It's very powerful, and they're just easy to use. Once you get past the getting set up with the stupid assembly table and all that, it's just really, really easy to use, and I really like the concept. So hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Leave me some comments and let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter, MinecraftOTB, and leave me comments there. I will respond to all the comments here on the channel. I'll respond to all the comments over on Twitter, and I just really appreciate the feedback, and I really appreciate you guys watching, and I would appreciate it if you told your friends. I will talk to you guys next time.